Put your red shirt on and a brown coat too. Everybody's joining the crew. We got just one ring, let we rule them all. Hope would remember your towel. Get your Uru feathers and your Middle guns. A sonic screwdriver or a sword +1. Use Valerian steel it will get you to come. To the pit, tank. To the pit, tank. The Rocky Mountain pit, tank.
Hi, I'm Troy,
Hi, I'm Alex.
and this is Geek Tank. And waiting for Guy to say hi, I'm Guy doesn't work when Guy's not here. I was like that split second of like, okay, pause, wait for Guy. There's no Guy. What? No. Oh, I guess I better talk first then. Size podcast.
Cool.
So yeah, welcome to the show. For those of you watching, I'm assuming Brent, who is always here, will be here, unless he's still in Florida and something's up with that. Who knows? But yeah, we were chatting. Alex and I were chatting before what I like to call it in the green room, and realized what we were chatting about probably would be fun to talk about during the show. So
Probably.
yeah, not the sick part necessarily.
Still sick.
So although there might be other people out there like myself who had not heard of Shrub before, so that
Okay.
might be worth repeating if you don't mind repeating it.
Sure. Yeah, I'm still under the weather. I'm congested and phlegmy and mucusy, and so instead of drinking alcohol tonight, I'm drinking Shrub, diluted with cherry seltzer. Shrub is a colonial era kind of mixture. Um, the base being apple cider vinegar and sweetened oftentimes with honey, and then few fruit purees or juices and such added in there, and then one could use it in cocktails or mixed drinks, or perhaps just with water, or in this case flavored seltzer. um, it's good stuff. What's usually marketed as Shrub these days is very sweet, and it tastes good, but it's very sweet. This is not marketed as Shrub, but it's from Dr. Bragg's, who also does a very well-known line of apple cider vinegars with the mother and such, and some flavored ones there too. And that's not as sweet, and I like that better. So
Cool. So yeah, I guess if you happen to find it around and you want to pick it up and hang on to it until you feel sick again, and use it to kick the sickness's butt. Maybe
I
worth
find it to
around.
be very refreshing. That's
So just
actually
as a beverage,
Yeah,
not
my
necessarily.
when it's
as
hot
a-
out, or as a post-workout beverage.
Hmm.
I like it. Um, yeah, and then we were also talking about we started talking about some games we were playing.
Yeah, cyberpunk game that you're diving back into again.
Yeah, I started playing it, I don't know, last spring, and then I stopped. Just wasn't in the mood. And it's an old game. It's Deus Ex Human Revolution, and it is primarily first person until you go into cover. Then it becomes third person, which I find a little bit annoying, but it still works. It I actually thought it was always going to be third person, so I was ready to play it on my TV with a controller, and it's first person. I'm like, I can't play a first person shooter game with a controller. I just can't. And so I'm back on the PC for that. And I mean, always on the PC with mouse and keyboard. No, it's a good game. It's a director's cut, which one of the problems that when it first came out was that it has a few distinct paths that you can take with your upgrades. And I think that you'll be able to upgrade everything eventually, but you tend to specialize in stuff that you're most interested in doing. And so there's like some physical infiltration stuff, combat oriented stuff, uh, data hacking and cracking, and then social engineering. And there's also stealth, part of the physical infiltration, exfiltration stuff. And so what had happened was that you'd have a lot of players going, "Oh, this is a really cool game. There's all sorts of different ways you can approach problems and everything." And it's like if you can't hack the terminal, maybe you can search around and find somebody's password that they wrote down like an idiot, and stuff like that. Um, and then you would get to a mandatory combat encounter and get turned into paste because you couldn't fight, and they hadn't programmed in ways to actually manage those encounters without having a combat oriented character. And so the director's cut, they've solved that. I have not gotten to a real boss yet. I'm still early on in the game, though I have been picking up side quests and doing them, and I think some of them are a little bit higher level than what I'm supposed to be able to do. But I'm like, I played stealth games before. I got this. And so that's been good. It's been really fun. And I think I mean I've already pretty much figured out what was why the inciting incident happened, some other mysteries that are going on. I'm like, I know what's happening here, but that's okay. I'm still enjoying it. It's from about 2012, I think, is when it came out. But I was also saying how I'm really interested in playing the sequel, which is Deus Ex: Mankind Divided, for a few different reasons. One, it's supposed to be even better, just in gameplay and such. But it takes place in Prague, and so there's a lot of landmarks for Prague. This is well after Assassin's Creed had already established, hey, real life locations are really cool to play around in.
Yeah.
And so they have that, but they also have a couple things with the kind of, it's not as big as Prague really is, but it's still recognizable. And so one thing is that directions in game work, and by that I mean, like, if you talk to somebody and they go, yeah, I know where you need to go to that crime scene, just go over there, take the subway to the whatever station, go out, take a right, walk down the street till you see the 7-Eleven, turn left, and 2 blocks later you'll be there. Those directions will actually work.
Wow.
Unlike most games where they'll give you directions and like, no, you must follow the path that they give you. If you don't follow the path, you're wrecked. Witcher. Anyway, but so that I'm really interested in that. But also, this game's got a little bit of it going on. I think there's places that I have been able to go that I'm not sure if they're gonna come up in later quest lines or anything. But they might, which would be cool. The second game, being Prague, even though it's smaller than real Prague, is still way bigger than anything you can really fill in with quests and everything. However, from what I understand, the city is I don't know if it's a living city where like things are always happening, and sort of like when you play like, say, like some of the Thief games, or even like I want to even say Majora's Mask, where things are going to happen
regardless of if you're there or not.
Yeah. And so there's that, but it's like every space is jam-packed with stuff that's happening, in that, like, you play Grand Theft Auto, you play Assassin's Creed, and like most of the locations are pretty much empty boxes you can never go into. You can drive around, blah blah blah, but you can't really go into like a random Burger King.
You can't walk into every building. You can only walk into the ones they've designated.
From what I understand, in Mankind Divided, you can get into every building if you have enough. I mean, some buildings are public, and if you've got enough, infiltration, augments and skills, and or data hacking and cracking, you can just get into places. I was reading about a player who was like, hey, I'm gonna just like go into this random building, go to this random apartment, and see what's going on. And he walks into like this situation where like nobody's there, but there's like a meal on like the table, something's on the TV, and it's on. And he's like, this is kind of weird, but kind of cool, And he's like walking around, and he's like a total cleaner situation in the bathroom with like people being dissolved in the tub. And he's like, getting the fuck out of here.
Yeah.
Sneaks out, like closes the door. If you can, he like relocks it with the hacking. He's like, yep. I was never here.
This is wrong room.
Yeah. And I'm like, that is awesome.
And that's the new one?
That's the newer one.
Newer one.
I'm not exactly sure when it came out, but it's definitely not new. I should look that up. Let's see.
So before we get too far away from Prague, I wanted to say I've been there a few times. If you ever get an opportunity, it is a beautiful city.
Oh, I'd love to.
It is. It's amazing. The bridges there. Mm-hmm. But yeah.
2016. Yeah, I'm still playing my gaming backlog. So even though I have given myself permission to not beat every game, I still have tons of games. I'm like, okay. That would be Deus Ex: Human Revolution, and its sequel, Deus Ex: Mankind Divided. I'm playing Human Revolution now, and Mankind Divided is the one with the miniature prog. I'm looking forward to getting to once I get to 2016 in my gaming backlog.
Yeah, our mutual friend Dan has recommended Deus Ex to me before. And like many games, I just haven't gotten around to it. There's too many games, not enough time.
Yeah, that's why I really gave myself permission. Like, the game doesn't really hook me, or like we're not enjoying it, or if like something like just seems off about it, I'm like, we're done.
Yeah.
Like, I did play all of Assassin's Creed Liberation, even though it was like really pared down for an Assassin's Creed game. But I did not play through the American Revolution one, Assassin's Creed 3, because I was like, this main character is boring. And it's like, wow, I know this is just lazy programming, but this smacks of racism. I'm out. So, especially after playing a bunch of games as Ezio Auditore, who is amazing as a character to play as. And then Nova and I are also started. We stopped for a couple weeks, but we started up again on playing Stray Gods, which is still a fascinating game. So, I know I've talked about that one before. I don't think.
Yeah.
People want to. I'll get back into it. But what are you been playing these days, Troy?
Oh gosh, what have I been playing? Besides Zomboid, I'm trying to think if there's anything else I've been playing. I feel like that's my last couple of weeks to month has been mainly dominated by diving into Project Zomboid, because there's so many different mods that you can get to alter how things are going.
All right.
And I take on like really stupid projects in the game. Like one of the mods just adds a ton of different guns to it. So I'm like, all right, I'm going to sort all my guns by the caliber that they are. And so this cabinet's all 9mm. The cabinet next to it's all the ammo for it, and next cabinet next to that's all the different clips for it. And so it's one of these weird, like, stupid little things. So there is no end game to Zomboid. That's its biggest problem. There is no the end game is you died. This is how far you made it. You have now died, which is not a great end game. So you got to kind of set your own personal goals when you play to make up for where the programmers have kind of failed in that. But they are aware of its weakness, and they consider the game to still be in work and constantly being worked on. So they're working on that. There's a mod that someone came up with. I don't think it was one of the original programmers, that creates a situation to help. You have to do a few different tasks to get everything you need to call for help, get to a specific location to call for the helicopter. Helicopter will come pick you after a certain amount of time. During that end window, all the zombies will flood in. Yeah, classic. And so you're going to get hoarded at the end, and so you have to be able to just hold off that horde until the helicopter gets there. So it's like there's people working on it. The drawback with it is because it's a mod and not the programmers worked on it. When you succeed, you just succeed, and the game goes to like a black screen with like, you win kind of thing. So it's like a little unsatisfying. There's no not even like still shots of like a helicopter rescuing
like
you or
8-bit
something.
Contra.
Right. So yeah, I expected something, and the worst part is I was playing 2-player with one of my kiddos, and because I'm the one who loaded the game, I'm the only one that saw the "you win" screen. He got kicked out of the game. I'm like, so it was even less satisfying for him. I'm like, sorry, dude, but
you win? Did the game crash? What happened?
What happened? But yeah, there's a point that we unfortunately figured out how the zombies were finding us. They're zeroing in on you, and so by knowing that, instead of staying on the very top level where the helicopter is going to get us, I took a position. Since I was the one who made the game, I'm the one they're zeroing in on. So I took a position one level down in the stairway, while he was above me shooting down at them as they came up, and I just meleeed them back. So we were able to game the mechanics, but it was close enough to what you could feasibly do in a real zombie situation that I didn't feel too disappointed in it.
Yeah.
But he agreed that we needed to lessen the amount of, because you can control a ton of stuff when you set up a game. We needed to make weapons less predominant, so we would have been struggling more. We were just finding too many weapons to defend ourselves with.
Right.
So it took away some of the fear. Another game I boot up a lot because I can dive into it for 10 minutes and then be done. is the old Xbox Magic the Gathering arena
Oh yeah.
game. It's
Yeah.
no longer
Duels of the
supported.
Planeswalkers.
Yeah, and so that it's no longer supported. You can't play against other players, and there's no more new material being added to it. But it's still just fun because the AI is not terrible.
Mhm.
It does have a couple of things it does. It's just really stupid. It makes no sense. Like cards that have replayability from your graveyard will be like exile this card and do something. And sometimes the cost of it is exiling another card in a graveyard, but it's a benefit because you're targeting your opponent's graveyard to get rid of their cards that have reoccurrence. Sometimes it will choose its own card as that target, and it's kind of like, why? And it's not because I don't have anything in my graveyard. That actually happened once. The AI had a reoccurring card as its only card in its graveyard. I had no cards in my graveyard. It cast it, and it sent it into a broken loop that I could not break because it would try to target something that wasn't there, and the card would go
Shrug,
back
you are a
in.
human player.
Yeah.
I win.
So, but yeah, but I think I paid $5 for the game because I bought all of them. They were really fun, and it's nice to have a game you can jump into for a brief amount of time, feel satisfied, and then walk away. And I still have a problem with playing against strangers. It just bothers me. There's so many. You play Arena all the time, so you know what I'm talking about.
Yeah, I play Arena all the time, and honestly, I haven't been playing it as much.
I got fuzzy.
Oh no,
weird.
Because honestly, I'm not in the mood to be playing a game where so much of it matters on randomness. So I've been playing like Heroes of the Storm a little bit more again, because there is some randomness, but it's mostly skill based. And yeah, I still keep up on my dailies basically with Arena. I'll get back into another thing where I'm like, I gotta play, but whatever. But no, let's see what else. Other geeky things.
They released the animated Scott Pilgrim on Netflix.
Nova and I binged that.
Me too.
Yeah,
I was impressed because they had a nice twist.
I really liked it because of the twist. Because I'm familiar with the comic books, love the movie. I was very happy that they brought pretty much every single cast member back.
Yeah, that was crazy.
The only ones that I know about that were different were the Katyanage twins, who didn't have speaking parts in the original movie anyway.
No, they didn't.
So they have one guy playing both of them, and it's a different actor. No, I really liked it. Liked where they went with it. Liked what they focused on. Liked the development. No, it was cool.
Yeah,
really enjoyable.
I recommend it, but I recommend it will be better, in my opinion, if you watch the movie first and then watch it, because the twist, I think, plays on the audience knowing the movie.
Yes, it is. So Scott Pilgrim Takes Off is part of Netflix streaming, or sorry, it's only streaming now. So Netflix, and they also have the feature film up on Netflix right now too.
Yeah, so if you have Netflix, you can watch them both.
Yeah, so watch the movie first, or read the books or whatever. The Scott Pilgrim anime was good.
Yeah,
it was very short too, like 8 half-hour episodes or so.
Yeah, and I think they were like closer to like 20. Some were 20 minutes, some were 25 minutes, but it runs smoothly. They have all the breaks in the right parts for it, so you could tell they didn't choose to break here because it was 30 minutes. They chose to break here because this was the right part, the break before the next episode.
Made sense to do it there.
But yeah, I dug it. And
like that, and then Lauren and I have just started watching. We're going to actually watch the full first episode tonight of Wayward Pines.
Oh, I've not heard of that. It sounds like
came out in 2015.
Twin Peaks type thing.
And I'm getting into it because there's kind of a bit of Twin Peaks in there, but it also has a little bit of X-Files in there. Or perhaps if you're a big Twin Peaks fan, it's a Blue Rose case. So that's on Hulu right now.
I don't have that one.
No, well, if it's really good, we'll watch it together.
Yeah.
And then what else is going on? I was looking at what else is going on in the nerd sphere. What did I see that was interesting? Oh, there's a new Hunger Games game out.
Oh yeah, I saw that's coming out.
Is that a prequel? Is that a reboot? What is that?
Oh gosh, what was that? I feel like it was a sequel because I think it's a new cast of characters they're focusing on.
It did look like a new cast, so I was wondering if it was a reboot or a prequel.
I've not read the book, so I don't know if it has now gone beyond what books exist. Ballad of the Songbirds and Snake. It's no.
Our audience member knows the skinny prequel.
Okay.
Thank you.
So
not my fandom, but I just saw that it was out. I'm like, that's her? Question marks.
Yeah. So yeah, I guess it's probably back in the early days of when the host system got set up. Maybe the first Hunger Games. I don't know. I've apparently there's stuff they explain as in many early presidents know. There's stuff in the books that they explain that they don't explain in the movies, which left me saying, if they can do this, why aren't they doing this? Oh, that's explained in the books. I'm like, yeah, but that's bad movie making if it's something that you don't explain in the movie. That's
why I stopped watching the Harry Potter movies back in the day.
Because I was so blown away when we got to the end, and I'm like, oh my God, that's crazy. They made Snape Harry Potter's father, and Tara's like, what are you talking about? And I talked her through my whole conspiracy theory of all the clues I saw from the movies. Right.
Yeah.
And she's like, your clues aren't wrong, but I know for a fact you're wrong because of the books. And that. But yeah, from my perspective, I thought for sure they had set it up and it just revealed that Snape was the actual father.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm like, whoa, that was a bold choice. And I think that's awesome that they went that way. They didn't go that way, so it's not awesome.
Fannin.
Yep. But yeah, Hunger Games. They in the movies they show that they basically it looked like they were doing the replicator thing from Star Trek, like just creating living animals to go out and attack the people in there from nothing. And like, if you can create living animals from nothing, you can make food for everyone.
But then we can't have them kill the poor people.
Right. Which they don't really go into in the movie. Yeah. So.
Class warfare. But cool. Yeah, it's like just set up to be, right in time for Thanksgiving.
Mm-hmm.
Tired of hanging out with your terrible family? Go watch a movie.
Go watch a movie about people killing other people over food.
That's right. And let's see what else is I've got announced. The second part of Dennis Villeneuve's Dune. Coming out in March.
That'll be cool. I've watched it twice now. The first one.
Yeah, I really enjoyed it. I thought it was an excellent trailer for the books. Because they leave out they have to leave out.
Yeah.
I thought it was still a cohesive film. And then just move it down, nice. And then but no, it's like I haven't been reading anything about what the content's going to be. I mean, I've read the book several times, but it's like I'm really hoping they have that scene where they render Janice for water at the beginning. Really need that. Really need that for Paul Muad'Dib Atreides' character. So here's hoping.
Yeah.
Dennis, don't fuck it up. Or do whatever.
Right.
The first half is still a great trailer for the books. Please read the books. They're so good.
If anybody's keeping up with the TV series Fargo, the new season starts tomorrow.
Oh, cool.
I think they're all excellent, and they're only loosely connected.
Okay.
Every now and then you might have a character referenced in one episode, or something that happened with that character might happen again. But for the most part, they take place years apart, and some set further back in time, some set further in time. The very first season,
love that.
The only connection they have, and you have to have seen the movie to get the connection, is there's a point to where one of the characters in the movie buries a case full of money, and to mark it in the snow, he sticks a little ice scraper in it. What happens in the season is someone finds that case of money, but that case of money's there in the movie again. So it's what happens from between them finding it and then returning it and putting it back in the exact same spot. So it's a pretty interesting series, and I really dig their style of it. And Billy Bob Thornton plays an excellent villain in one of the seasons. So
nice. Yeah, what's that on?
FX, and I believe it's free. I think you can find, because FX is on DirecTV.
I think it's on Hulu too. Yeah.
Yeah,
Cool.
but I think you can find that. I think they, in addition to Hulu, I think they have their own FX channel that you can go watch their
Right.
shows on as well.
Cool. Well, I've got the Hulu.
Or
So
so,
I don't think you sent me the charismatic voice. I just Googled it. I was like, interesting.
if I can ask you, Ralph, which season of Fargo were you watching that confused you, or seasons? And I know we have a delay from me asking the question before you're going to hear it, so I will ramble a little bit between there. I'm trying to remember if any of these seasons tell the story out of order, because it might be, or if you don't remember the season, if you can name loosely what the plot is or the big hurdle that the main character is trying to get in, or any of the actors. Was it the one with Chris Rock? I could say that for the most part, they're not happy stories, so don't go into it expecting to feel really happy at the end. A lot of innocent, good people get killed in many of the seasons, which is kind of similar to how the movie was. Oh, the movie. Huh. I guess I'd have to watch it with you because I'm not remembering Fargo. We're talking about the same one about the husband who is faking the kidnapping of his wife, and she's really being kidnapped though. He hires kidnappers to kidnap her, but his plan is to have the father pay the ransom, but he's telling the father the ransom is double what the ransom is, and he's going to keep half of it. I don't know if that's ringing a bell or not, but that was basically the plot for Fargo. Music nerd stuff.
I'm down.
Super, yeah.
I like music. I like nerdity. Yeah, the pregnant sheriff. Yeah.
Yeah, pregnant sheriff. Yeah, she's the one who's trying to solve the case of the kidnapped woman. Yeah, I don't know. Maybe somebody was poking you and distracting you throughout the movie. But it's definitely the Coen brothers. There's not a movie they've made that I haven't found something in it that I really like. So, yeah. Raising Arizona, very first Coen brothers movie I saw.
Same. Yeah. And I think probably my favorite movie there is one of those movies you can only really watch once.
Was it Blood Simple?
Or once in like every 10 years or so. No, it was and now I can't remember the name. It's the one with the guy writing the script in the hotel.
It's a name. Barton Fink.
Barton Fink. Yes, that one. I'm like, that movie's awesome. But yeah.
That's one of those things where I always when I was definitely younger, after seeing Raising Arizona and learning about who they were, one of my life goals was to become the Fleur brothers and make movies with my brother. Aww. But that requires money and knowing people, which we had neither of.
And a brother.
Well, not anymore. But back then, had the brother, and both of us being the creative, dark humor type people. I think people would have compared us to the Coen brothers. Mm-hmm. You're like the Dollar Tree version of the Coen brothers. Like, hey, you put us in the same breath, we'll take it.
Yeah, so, right. It's like. You're like poor man's Coen brothers. Oh no!
Hey, we're someone. That's something. So
yeah. Totally.
Gosh.
Totally.
So what I was going to recommend, but so this week is probably the busiest week I've had with work because for the most part, my job isn't being a job person; it's being a keep the family going person. But I also moonlight from that as a driving instructor. But because we're in Thanksgiving break, all the kids are out of school, meaning they want to just cram through all their driving school. So was working today, tomorrow, and Wednesday. And so my work stamina level is not where it needs to be since my previous work was like, all right, I'm going into work on Saturday. That's it for this week. Next Saturday, I get to go and work again. So an entire 6 days of recovery time is a lot of recovery time.
Yeah.
And my problem is I get into a role as a performer and I forget to sit down, so I'm standing and walking a lot because I'm keeping their attention. Mm-hmm. And sitting down just doesn't feel correct as a stage presence. Mm-hmm. And then at the end of the day, I'm like, God, why do my legs and feet hurt so much? Oh, because I was standing and walking for 8 hours, which is great exercise, but
you're just not used to it.
I'm not used to it. So not back in the day when I worked my 40-hour-a-day job was standing at a video store and checking out videos to people. Mm-hmm. And me constantly questioning, why do we have to stand? There's no one here. So
thank you, Rotten Ralph. I will check that out at a later time.
So is that the name of the band, Charismatic Voice? Oh, Charismatic Voice is she analyzes, if I'm remembering the right person, I think it's a she, analyzes different people's songs, right?
That's what it seems like.
Because I think I might have seen the video where they looked at what is that song? Why did you leave the keys upon the kitchen? Because you wanted to song. I've forgotten what the name of that song is. Because I only really know the Richard Cheese version of it. Any case.
It's cool. It's time for sponsors. Push the sponsor button.
Oh, thank you, man. I'm babbling away.
It's all right.
At least you didn't send it to me in our private comments and I missed it. All right. Let's scroll to the right place, and it's going to be under banners, not under brand. So there we go. So Geek Tank is sponsored by Kieran Games, Geekway Homes, and Yo Mom. Yeah. I have no idea of Kieran Games and Geekway Homes' current con schedule, but since there's conventions coming up left and right, they'll probably be at one of them. Like we have a new convention coming up this weekend that we're going to be covering mostly on Sunday, I believe. What's your Sunday looking like? Being hopefully not being sick still, obviously.
Oh my God! Please no.
Yeah.
Please no. Hopefully, my Sunday. I was planning on probably hitting church in the morning and sword in the afternoon if I'm feeling up to it. But it's not written in stone. We can do Saturday or something before game.
I'm working Saturday before game, so.
Okay.
But you might be able to carpool in with Guy, because Guy's also supposed to be at the game.
Okay. Well, I may have to. I actually called up the hotel earlier this evening to go, hey, I was in this room during these dates, and I think we forgot something. So maybe I can go down there and pick it up because it's a couple of bracelets that Lauren helped Nova make for me when Nova was wee, as well as a bracelet that my mother made for me that's part of a trifecta of bracelets for each of the men in her life.
Wow. So they did find them, though.
Well, I don't know.
They didn't respond?
They haven't responded yet. I'm hoping they found them because that one that my mom made is... She would have to make another one, but it's a silver and it's a Byzantine pattern, which if you look it up online for how much those cost is actually kind of a lot. We don't know where Guy is. Yeah,
I actually I texted him before the show saying, hey, I emailed out the link to the show, and I texted him again about 15 minutes ago saying, hey, are you okay? He has been working. There may be a slim chance that he's worked himself to falling asleep before the show. I don't know, but yeah. Oh wait, when was that sent?
I was gonna I have some Star Trek news. I was gonna bag on Star Trek while he wasn't here.
Yeah, go for it. Oh yeah, he hasn't responded. 9:19. I sent him an okay. Are you okay message?
Now, there's a rumor going around that the fourth Chris Pine Star Trek movie might be in trouble.
Oh,
to which I say, darn.
Yeah,
because those first two Chris Pine Star Trek movies are so good. Oh my God!
I have been impressed by Strange New Worlds.
Cool.
It's that they basically have recast Kirk because he's really old now, so they had to recast him if they're going to show him at his early days. The actor they got playing him, I think, is doing a great job. He's not imitating William Shatner. He's doing his own version of Kirk. But he has the cockiness. He has the competency where it counts. I think they're doing great with it. And Kirk in Strange New Worlds is more of a secondary character because Christopher Pike, I'm not nearly as good at this as Guy is. Nobody is. But Christopher Pike is the main character through Strange New Worlds, which is the character you got to see in the pilot of Star Trek before they switched it out. Yeah. Mm-hmm. But as far as capturing that flavor of the original series and staying on top of social issues to keep it contemporary, up to date, they're doing a lot of that same stuff. Which, out of all the new stuff I've seen, if you were going to say I only want to watch one of the new things, that would be the thing I would point to. Would be Strange New Worlds.
We Lauren and I have watched seasons 1 and 2 of Picard. We enjoyed season 1 of Picard more than season 2, which is what I believe. That yeah, it's kind of how it's supposed. Like that's the consensus. But there was some good stuff in the second season. Very enjoyable things, some good eye candy. And the smell, the fart acting. Yes, I've heard
David
that.
Duchovny is the first person I had heard that technique from, and I think it was it's probably David Letterman. It's probably an interview on David Letterman where he said, "Yeah, all my acting, this is my technique. When someone asks me a question, I pretend I smell a fart." He's like, "Here, ask me a serious question," and the question was something like, "Do you believe in aliens?" And he went, and it worked.
Mhm.
He's like, "All I'm doing is imagining I'm smelling a fart." So
Nice.
Christopher Pike,
Yeah.
because they smell the fart. Okay.
I have not been hearing anything about disability representation in Doctor Who. Once again, not my fandom.
I've not been keeping up with it.
Is this the current Who or previous Who's or Doctors? Sorry.
Oh wait, it might be a guy messaging me.
Just point me at Sandman, okay?
Okay. Hey, it's after hours. I'm going to read this word for word.
Sweet.
So my response I got back, "Oh shit! I thought it was Tuesday. It's a stupid error. I am sorry. I am helping insert friend's name here, which I don't know if I have permission to say. We have some problems. I'll brief you later." So good news. He's not dead or hurt is what it sounds like.
Hooray, not dead or hurt.
Yep.
So okay, well I'm gonna go to Google and see what's going on with Doctor Who.
Yeah, I did not. I don't believe I finished the season that had the first female doctor. So I might not have made it through all of that. So I'm not caught up. I know she's been replaced, or at least I think she's already been replaced. So I'm not sure what's going on there. Yeah, there's definitely stuff about Doctor Who I do like. I came into Doctor Who from a weird direction. My favorite GURPS supplement is Black Ops, which is basically Mission Impossible meets X-Files. And I'd heard about a show that was similar called Torchwood. So I checked it out and went, yeah, this is kind of fun. I'll watch this. So I watched all of Torchwood, never realizing it was Doctor Who universe stuff type thing, because I've never watched Doctor Who really. And then a few years later, I think it was Guy actually convinced me to watch Chris Eccleston Doctor Who. And so I started watching that, and at some point I'm like, hey, those are the people from Torchwood. But yeah. Retcon. No, okay, so they for not everybody's seeing everything on here if you're not on the same service. So what Ralph is saying is they are trying to retcon Davros, who is in a wheelchair, and they are all bad representation of evil guys and associated devices or assisted device users. Yeah, I mean, James Bond has that problem too. Yeah, Torchwood is an anagram for Doctor Who, which had Doctor Who been anywhere on my brain radar, I might have figured that out, but wasn't part of my world at the time that I was watching Torchwood that I knew of. I was inadvertently watching Doctor Who stuff. You're soaking in it. What do you? So I don't know about the Chris Pine thing. Chris Pine movie In Trouble is what I'll put in here.
Oh yeah. I mean, it's like, who knows? I think the gist is that they're probably going to go forward with like a different movie.
I'm sad that Tarantino thing didn't pull through. I thought it'd been fun to see a Tarantino Star Trek movie.
He was just trolling.
Yeah.
He was just trolling. I can't believe he fell for that or wanted that so bad. Come on, man.
I don't know. He might be a Trekkie at heart.
The Tarantino trolling that I fall for constantly because I want it so hard to be true is Kill Bill 3.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Especially since, like, somebody brought it up to him in an interview, and he's like, "Golly, if someone was thinking about Kill Bill 3, like when we made the original movies, they would have had to like have extra, days with the actors and shoot some scenes with them, and in order to have the story going on for the cycle of violence to continue. But why would I ever do a thing like that?" I'm like, God damn it, Tarantino.
Yeah, because it's so obvious. If I was to do a fan thing, I would have the kid from Ghost Dog have to go like meet up with the kid from the first Kill Bill movie,
Hmm.
because those are two set up killers that we have the stories not fulfilled on.
Right. Hmm.
Jodie Whittaker, yeah, that was
Yeah, I'm
the
so not
doctor.
a Whovian that I don't even know if that series is still going on.
There was a time when one of my kids was just like huge into it, so
Cool.
not anymore, because that's what kids are. They get into something and they're like, done.
Yeah. And Tim Burton Superman movie. I don't know. That Tim Burton guy, he's kind of hit or miss for me.
Is that like a current rumor or a past rumor?
I think it's a
Right.
past rumor.
Because I know about
Back,
the
back when he did, Batman and stuff.
is that the Nicolas Cage Superman that Kevin Smith wrote the script for?
I don't know.
That's the way I could
I'm
think
gonna
of
look
for
it
that
up.
one. I remember back in the day when Michael Keaton was cast to play Batman, and I was like, "Oh, I wanted to see Bruce Willis play Batman."
Yeah, that's the Kevin Smith one. Yeah.
Okay, yeah. So Kevin Smith has a whole story. I think it's on one of the streaming services as his stand-up. The couple of stand-ups I've seen from his is weird. He'll take one question and do an entire hour on whatever that question is, like rabbit hole all through it. But he had written that script, and the director at the time is the director who ended up directing the Will Smith version of Wild Wild West, the movie. But this was pre Wild Wild West. And in the script, the director didn't like what Kevin Smith had written and said, "I think he should fight a giant spider." And Kevin Smith is like, "What? That's stupid. That's never happened in any of the Superman books. It doesn't make any sense. That's not a Superman villain." And refused to write a giant spider as the villain in the Superman script. And so therefore the director didn't want to do the film, and the whole thing fell apart because Kevin Smith wouldn't make a giant spider. Years later, when Wild Wild West came out and Kevin Smith was sitting in the theater, he's like, "Damn, he got his giant spider finally, I guess."
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so who knows what that fascination was for. But I remember when it happened in Wild Wild West, even though the steampunk aspect kind of made sense, it still seems stupid. I wanted that movie to be so good, but it didn't
Nope.
work.
Yeah. Let's see.
Oh,
yeah, and as Ralph says, yeah, Jodie Whittaker was only in the role for a couple years there. Now David Tennant's back as the Doctor. David Tennant, I like you, buddy, but I don't know about that.
He comes back and does the whole Purple Man thing again.
Oh, I am looking forward to see. I haven't watched it yet, but I don't know if it's even out. But Good Omens 2. I really like how they adapted the source material for
It is out.
The first book.
It's out. I not having read the book, I don't know how at all it's connected to the book.
Okay, well, I mean,
it was fun.
It would
to
have
watch.
to be mostly new material.
That might be.
The first series is the one book. So,
and I can't say anything without spoiling stuff that I can think of off the top of my head, and I don't want to do that. So,
thanks.
But it's Tara and I watched it. We liked it. I think it lacked some of the punch that the first one had, just because of how new it. When watching it, you had nothing to compare it to. Now you have season 1 to compare it to. I wouldn't say it's better than season 1, but it doesn't fall far below, if at all. But,
what's Good Omens 2 on?
Same one that Good Omens 1 was on. What was that? Amazon?
I got that on disc.
Oh. Then I guess it's not on that disc anymore.
It's probably Amazon.
Well, that didn't help me at all. Netflix. Oh, no, wait. I'm sorry. I read the wrong thing. Yeah, Amazon Prime Video.
Yeah. Okay. I'll wait. And then, that's juicy. That just dropped a couple days ago. Sandman season 2, April. Oh. Yes.
For a second, I thought you meant it's out now, as in it dropped a couple days ago. But the news dropped. Okay.
The news dropped a couple days ago. I'm into it. Mm-hmm. Here for it. Still a little bit too mature for Nova. I tried showing her just a couple little bits here, and she's like, "Nope."
Yeah. Well, at least she has enough awareness to know what's for her and what's not. So, yeah, Good Omens, Amazon. If you're ever over and we have extra time and you want to watch it here, you can certainly watch like at least an episode or two to see if it's worth picking up on DVD for you.
Good Omens? Oh yeah.
I mean,
Easy.
I'm assuming you'll say yes, it is.
Yeah.
But yeah.
But you're Sandman. Oh, looks like we're not going to be watching Wayward Pines tonight. Okay. Go back into Cyberpunk Detroit then.
Oh yeah, his Dark Materials is really good. I enjoyed that. I mean, it's there's so many episodes that of course you're going to run into some story problems, but I thought it was fun.
Yeah, we were watching that, and we were watching as a family, and that's another one we had to stop because Nova was like she was not tolerating the Damon on Damon violence.
Yeah, that's harsh, and then it gets into when you take the Damon away from its connected person is hard to watch, and yeah, I feel like that shit probably is at least a 13-year-old target for most people before they.
Yeah, we're gonna revisit in a couple years. So,
but yeah, it's definitely some neat stuff in it. But I dropped the line when I was mentioning the new convention coming up November 24th, 26th is called Galacticon. We've talked about it on previous shows at Denver Marriott Tech Center. I don't think we're going to have time to hit. We might be able to hit it on Friday day. Guy and I might head out if he's available, but not available that night from what I'm aware of. Saturday, I think he's planning on going, but I can't because I'm working. Sunday, both of us are free and we're both going to go then. And since you're so close there, if you wanted to carpool with him on any of the opportunities, I'm sure that'd be fine.
Yeah, and when it comes to Friday, I have every Friday off, so maybe we'll do that.
Yeah, if Guy's available, maybe we can do a daytime thing. I just need to. Well, I don't think they're going to be doing a lot during Friday day. It'll be mostly dead, but that would probably be the best time to try to get people who aren't doing anything that weekend to become aware that it's happening and go to it.
Right. And then, I love it when audiobooks are done by full casts. Love it.
Wow.
That's one of the reasons why I have the audiobook versions of Twin Peaks Secret Dossier and Secret Dossier is full cast recording. It's super good. But yeah, I love that stuff. Yeah.
Let's see what else is there. Yeah, the day when you can carpool. Oh, the day, yeah. Who knows when that'll be? But yeah, carpooling's fun. Man. Good job searching up stuff there. Sandman definitely is good news.
No, there's a Sandman spin-off series coming out. The Dead Boy Detectives. Premiering on Netflix. Not familiar with this. Originally intended to be a Doom Patrol spin-off.
Oh, that's right, because Sandman's DC.
Yeah, but I mean, Sandman is there. The Sandman universe goes through all of DC properties, so why not?
Yeah. Doom Patrol is one of those things that's like so good it doesn't deserve to be called DC compared to all the other DC stuff that did not do so well.
Don't be a hater.
Yeah, I'm not trying to hate. I'm just saying it's above by a couple of levels in what it does. So I don't know where you are to swing by. You might need to message Alex offline.
Oh, I was not aware you were going to be in town. So I know you are an out-of-towner these days, out of Denver metro area these days.
Alex was just saying, don't be a hater, Brent. But
you know what else is bad? The MCU. Fight me. I've not watched all of them, and nor will I.
It's getting so saturated. I don't know how you could.
I did not even get to and I was excited about it at first because I love Infinity Gauntlet. I didn't even get to like Endgame or any of that crap. It's like I think the most recent ones I watched were, the most recent chronologically were probably, I know I watched Thor Ragnarok. I like had to because my natural father's in it and is recognizable.
Nice.
Yeah, no, it was horrible before Endgame. Like that's why I never watched Endgame. It's terrible. Cool. No worries. I mean, it's a family holiday, coming up. Maybe you were going to be in town. I don't know.
Yeah.
We can make it work. I'm a Gemini.
I mean, I know one of our other mutual friends is supposedly in town or going to be in town soon and was intending to, I think because they have so many people that want to hang out with them, they were going to try to do like a group thing at a coffee place to try to
Oh
make it
yeah.
possible for everyone to hang out with them. But
Yeah.
I've heard nothing else on that, so I don't know if it's happening or not.
Right.
But
just rent a concert hall. It's cool.
yeah.
But yeah,
But
no,
see,
it's
yeah, there's a time several years ago where I feel like it was my oldest one, Nick, wanted to watch them, but he wanted to watch them in chronological order of when they happened, not when they were released. And I'm like, cool. I'm gonna have to go to Google for that. So
right.
I looked up the list, and we binge watched them because it was during one of these weeks that we were on a road trip and hanging out in Kentucky and had a lot of free time to watch
Right.
TV. So we got through like 3 movies a day with that.
Nice. Yeah. Movie. Breakfast movie, lunch
Yeah.
movie. Yeah.
But yeah, out of all the MCU stuff, the stuff that impressed me the most was other than the Iron Fist and the collected group one after that. I really liked Jessica Jones, Kate, Luke Cage, Punisher, Daredevil. I thought those were just great.
Yeah. I thought they were really good too. I think I've said this before, but Daredevil season 2, I think, cured Lauren and I of binge watching. Like we watched it, we enjoyed it, but we watched it over like 3 days or something. It was dumb. And it was the kind of thing where we're like, I think we would have enjoyed that a lot more if we'd actually like watched only an episode or two a night
Yeah.
instead of like watching it all day. Um, and like I have to say that I know I've said this before, like Punisher season 1
hmm
is amazing after the beginning. The beginning's kind of trying to trite. But after that, like the end of season 1, I'm like, I'm a Punisher fan. I've never seen that
hmm
in anything. I'm like, cool. Oh, they made a season 2? I'm never going to watch it because the way they ended season 1 was perfect. No need to go back to that well. At least not in that story and not in that timeline.
hmm I'm now having the 2 seasons kind of blend together in my head, so I'm trying to remember what
Season
two's
1 is the
theme
one
was.
that ends with
The PTSD.
yeah, he like microchip and his family are like, oh my gosh, Frank didn't come. What's going on? We're worried about him. And he's at his friend's group therapy for vets. And I'm like, never seen that representation of the Punisher. And I'm like, we're good. It's done. Frank Castle's gonna have good days and bad days, but he's gonna be trying to work through it. He's gonna try to help other people work through it. I'm here for that. Like in my head canon, that is where Frank Castle ends up. Did I mention about the audio on Scott Pilgrim?
You did to me. I don't know if it was on the show though.
Okay.
So yeah, you went to watch Scott
thing.
Pilgrim. So
Yeah.
this is interesting. Yeah.
Yeah. To go back, I mean, multiverse gets me thinking about Spider-Verse, which of course the second one is on Netflix right now. I don't have it on disc yet, but I will. But we were watching about a month or two ago. I showed Nova Scott Pilgrim and loved it. We love it. It's great. And then it came up on advertising on Netflix again, and it's like, oh, Nova wanted to watch it herself. I'm like, yeah, go ahead and throw it on, put it on my profile, watch it. I don't care. And I'm like, this audio is not as good. It's not as good as the Blu-ray. It's not as dynamic, as large of range, and it doesn't like you're not like watching this thing and then suddenly like they just hit you with that normal we are sex bomb 1 2 3 4 and then boom, knocking you into your couch, as you're supposed to with that scene. I'm like, the video is still good, but the audio is not nearly so good as we come back around to auditory nerdity. So yeah, very interesting. That's one word for right. Brent, we already talked about that. In short, we liked it. My kid and I watched it, and we enjoyed it greatly. Troy said that he liked it as well. Be familiar with the source material, either having read the comic books and or seen the movie, because they make changes, which are very cool. Yeah, I get that they compress the audio to transmit it because I mean, like, it's not everybody has like gigabit download speeds anymore or whatever. But it's like I get they're saving on bandwidth and server space and all that, and to be honest, I think a lot of people don't have a very good audio system. I'm not saying mine's great. It used to be better back when I had a receiver and everything, but it's just going to be too cumbersome and stuff. And so I did my research, and I have a good sound bar for the space we're in, and I can tell. And in fact, recently we were watching some stuff with some friends, and we were streaming the new Castlevania, and when we switched over to Venture Brothers afterwards, since we're going to try to do a rewatch of much of it before we watch the movie. It's like, oh my God, the soundbar wasn't on the whole time. I go, you didn't notice that? I thought you just liked having awful audio. It's like, how can you not tell? Like,
yeah, I've actually, it must have been so unimpressive the second season that I've blanked a lot of it, because I usually remember decent amount of details of stuff, and I'm looking up who the main villain was for season 2, and it was the character's name was John Pilgrim, and I'm like, I don't remember any of this. Maybe if I started watching it again, it might come back to me, but I don't know. I mean, the one scene that sticks out to me most was from season 1, and that was the fight in the jail. So,
good stuff.
But yeah.
But no, I thought the fight in the jail was in Daredevil.
Well, the Punisher gets put in prison.
Yeah, doesn't happen in Daredevil. Doesn't happen. I don't think it happens in
It might have. I might be wrong here.
Yeah, it's all good. It's been years, but yeah, a lot of folks don't spend a lot of money on a good audio. I mean, like, I didn't even spend that much money to have decent audio. I gotta have good audio. I'm always playing music.
7 Minutes in Heaven Daredevil episode. You are correct.
Bam! I'm a Punisher fan, man.
No, it's cool. But yeah, the thing I remember the most about the Punisher wasn't even in the Punisher, apparently. But yeah, that prison fight scene.
It's good.
Yeah.
Yeah. So yeah, a lot of people don't spend a lot of money, and like I didn't even spend that much money, but yeah, and like people, it's like I go to friends' houses, and I'm like, "What's wrong with your TV?" And they're like, "What are you talking about? It's brand new." And I'm like, "Have you gone to the settings at all? Because this doesn't look right." I'm like, "Let me show you what this movie's supposed to look like."
Yeah, if you don't have the settings right, it looks like it was filmed on live video.
Yeah. Oh,
it looks like a soap opera.
Yeah.
My big thing is certain ranges of movies now, my TV doesn't handle the sound right, so all of the special effects are really loud, and then when they're talking, it's all nice and stuff like that. So you got to ride the remote to get it to balance it correctly.
Yeah, as much as I mean, it's a feature on pretty much every soundbar these days that I've seen is they usually call it something like true volume, where it'll automatically level that out. So you might want to take a look at that.
Yeah, I probably should. I probably should pick up a soundbar switch too.
Right. You might have it on TV audio as well. But no, I mean, for that space, you need some audio, man.
Yeah. And it's not like I'm hurting, so.
And now we come to the real reason Alex never comes over to watch stuff.
I know. You have enough influence. All you'd have to say is like, you should pick up this soundbar for this space, and
right.
Most likely would happen. So
I don't know about what bar in particular, but we can easily research it.
Yeah,
because that's a pretty big space.
And I really love hosting stuff. So
it's cool. Oh my gosh, it's 10 o'clock.
I know, we're right there. We don't have to do an art show, so we don't have to rush out. But I should still head out since I do have to work tomorrow, and it is
same.
Tomorrow is the first day I'm teaching the last 2 classes of the course, and that's the last one is when we give out the permit tests for kiddies to get their permit. And I should not be worried at all, but I am worried because it's my first time going into that. And then, of
Yep.
course, guys like, it's the worst. And I'm like, yeah, that makes me feel better about it.
Yeah, thanks, Guy.
Yeah, but
Yeah, well, I mean, thanks for joining us for our show. I forgot that you are 2 time zones ahead of us. And,
yeah,
so yeah, it's been great. It's
yeah,
been
we
swell.
we
Oh,
appreciate it.
last thing, one thing I did is and I think I mentioned that I love Riverdale.
Yeah.
I have completed Riverdale. I continue to love Riverdale.
Oh, nice. So it ended well.
It ended well, and in a kind of a Peggy Sue got married kind of way.
But it was just satisfactory is what counts.
Yeah, it was satisfactory what they did with it. The show definitely has problems, which I'm happy to get into. But I mean, I love Twin Peaks, and that show's got problems. So
Yeah. I don't know if either of those shows we could get Guy to dive into, but it might be kind of fun because I'd mentioned before it might be neat to take on like a little homework assignment between shows, like watch episode 1 of something and then talk about it. My idea for this show, which wouldn't have worked since Guy wasn't here now, but because we're coming up on Thanksgiving, I was going to say, let's talk about the worst movies we've seen, the turkeys and that. Which we still could do as a topic at some point.
Iron Man 1 and
oh man, you hated that one?
It is pretty and it is garbage.
Well, we should...
sorry. Doctor Strange was worse. Iron Man. You're right.
Yeah, but we should save for a show. Dive into those things.
Here for it.
All right. Well, thanks you once again for watching. We do really appreciate it.
We do.
And I don't have to bother anybody to like and subscribe because I really don't care, even though I should. And I'm not going to beg for people to get on our Patreon because I know eating and drinking is important for people, and I want them to do that.
Yeah, but I mean, if you're liking what you're hearing, tell your friends.
Yeah, if you know a business that would like us to put them in along with your mom, we can do that as well if they want to hop on our Patreon. But in any case, yeah, cool. Thanks. I do believe that next Monday we'll have a show. I don't think anything's interfering with that. I try to get ahead of that when there's going to be something that's going to make us not available.
Cyber Monday, beep boop.
Yeah, beep boop. Oh man. On my television, when you turn on the menu thing, it opens up the whole little menu there. So you have the Hulu, Amazon, all that stuff as your options at the bottom. But they also take the opportunity to stick ads on there. And one of the ads said Black Sale. And Tara and I are like, I don't think they thought about that very well.
I don't think that means what you think it means.
And she's like, because it's not Friday, they probably didn't want to say Black Friday, but this was not the correct direction to go with that. And I had to look at it twice. I'm like, am I missing something? And it's like, no, somebody just, yeah.
Wow.
But yeah. So yeah, if you're going to go buy a bunch of stuff, try to support your local stores, not the big chains.
Totally.
Yeah. All right, sweet. That's it. I'm going off my soapbox.
I like books.
Yeah. Black and red rocks too.
Text me.
Yeah. All right. Thanks again, everybody. Have a good night. I've been Troy.
And I've been Alex.
And this has been me looking for the button to press. There it is. This has been Geek Tank. Good night.